Okay, in this video we are going to do point estimate for population proportion. Remember when we did binomial probability and we found the probability of success and we had the R, or the R could also be in the calculator, the X. We are going to do that and use that information again. So we are going to start with 13A. We're talking about Navajo lifestyle, traditional Hogans, a random sample. So that is your N, is 5,222. Permanent dwellings on the entire Navajo Indian reservation show that 1619 were traditional. So that is your R or your X. I'm just going to put that down so you see that. All right. So A says let P be the proportion for all permanent dwellings on the entire Navajo reservation that are traditional Hogans. Find the point estimate for P. So to find the point estimate for P, it's actually asking you to find the PFAT. So we are going to take R over N, 1619 over 5,222. And we are going to do this in the calculator by dividing, because you want to get the decimal. 1619 divided by 5,022. And you get 0.31. I think that's fine. Just make sure you round accordingly. But at the same time, you need to find the Q hat. And remember, to find the Q hat, you do 1 minus 0.31 gives you 0.69. And the way to do that, if you wanted to leave it with the answer, you would do 1 minus, second, the negative button gives the answer that you had there. And when you look at the rounding, it actually becomes 0.69. So next, what we're going to do on part B, it asks you to find the 99% confidence interval for this. So we are going to do stat test A. Stat test A is another testing unit or a testing function that we're going to use. And I like to arrow up to get the letters. If you see that, that's your proportional Z. And our X here is 1619. Our N is 5222. Our confidence level is 99%. And we are going to calculate. Remember, we take all the numbers and I'm going to explain the interpretation. So we're going to say 0.29355 is less than P, which is less than 0.32652. Okay, that's your confidence interval. On part C, it says for you to interpret. It says for you to interpret. Well, actually, I'm sorry, it's just in B. We're not doing C. B says give a brief interpretation. So we are going to say, we are 99% confident that, and this is the key words here, the population proportion for traditional Hogans is between, and this is where you change your proportions into percent. So we're going to say between 29% and 33%. I rounded. Because truthfully, that's what this is. It's a percentage. Whenever you take a sample size divided by a whole, remember part over whole, it gives you a percentage. So that's what you are getting. Okay, let's look at 14A. 14A is archaeology pottery, and it says a sample of 592. And let's see what our R is, or our X. That's what they're telling you that they're taken out of. Sample of 592 potsheds was found, of which 360 were identified. So 360, that's your part. That's your part. So again, on A, it says find the point estimate. Point estimate would be 360 over 592. So again, we're going to take the calculator. 360 divided by 592. And we get 0.6. Here we're going to go, if you want, you could do 0.61. And then on the Q hat, we're going to do 1 minus 0.61. So you could, again, I'm going to show this 1 minus second, the negative button to give you the answer, and it gives you 0.39. So that's that. And then we are doing in part B, 95% confidence interval. Again, stat test A. And we are going to go to the calculator. Stat test, arrow up to letter A. We are now going to put in 360 and 592. And we are doing 95%, so we're going to change that to 95. And we're going to calculate. And we are going to write 0.56878 is less than P, which is less than 0.64743. Okay? And that's what you do there. Next, we are going to write the brief interpretation. So we are going to say, we are 95% confident that the population proportion, and I go back to B to see what they're asking me about. We're talking about potsherds at the excavation site. For and this is where I change it into percent. So it would be 57% and 65%. And that's how you find the population, the point estimate for the population proportion.